20 people. We're steadily growing.
And
Can you come list my house and then you show up 5-10 minutes late? That's awesome. I love it. We're gonna solve this problem today.
we are live. We are recording. We are ready to go. We're going to let Felipe go ahead and jump in. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And
Awesome.
you should be able to.
Hey, good morning, everyone. So again, welcome to our first ever C21 Preferred Listing Workshop. We're going to talk about the agenda in just a little bit, but the main purpose for this whole workshop is to make us listing professionals. You know, I'm coming to you live from my house because, again, I figured this is kind of the new norm, right? So I wanted to give you the experience that's kind of relevant to today's market, to what we're experiencing. So we're going to talk about expectations in just a little bit as well. So overall, we want to be professionals. You know, the real estate industry has evolved. Have you guys noticed, right? Who's my newer agent? So some of you are newer to the company, maybe newer to business, and you might be saying, "Holy cow! You know, this real estate game has changed. It's evolved. I've been doing this for 6 months, and you know, now I have to learn how to use my video camera, and I have to learn how to talk to people on the camera." So, you know, for those of us that have been doing this more than 5 years, okay, we understand that real estate is cyclical, and this happens. You know, these changes are going to occur in our industry. But it's how we adapt and how we overcome to these changes that's going to make us successful. There's a big need in our industry right now. And who's going to take a guess? By the way, this is going to be totally interactive. So you're going to have to get out of your shell a little bit. Okay. So who can tell me what's the biggest thing missing in our industry right now?
Listings.
Listings, ding, 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 listings. So just looking at the MLS today, you guys, every single market in Riverside County is either at or under 1 month of supply, okay? There is less than 1 month of inventory in all of Riverside County, in Temecula, Menifee, Lake Elsinore, Murrieta. Actually, I think Lake Elsinore was at like 1.1 as of this morning, so congratulations, you guys. But oh my gosh, this is insane. There is nothing for sale. So ever since the pandemic happened last year, what happened in our industry? What's changed? What are we, you know, we noticed that we need listings, but what are people looking for when they're looking at houses now? Why are people looking at houses today? Right? Why are people looking at maybe selling their property or getting into something? What? You guys go.
A little bigger. They want that open space because some people either have to work from home or the kids are doing in-home schooling now. And a lot of people may wind up working from home after this even starts to clear up.
That's exactly right. So that's exactly the point I was trying to get to, Brian. Thank you so much. You know, the mindset has shifted completely when it comes to home ownership. People find value in having that home office again. Okay. A lot of people are moving to Riverside County because of the fact that they don't have to commute anymore. That's huge. You need to understand this because that's a big deal. That's what's going to just make our economy boom in Riverside County, is that people from LA, Orange County, San Diego County, we've always known we are the most affordable county, but now they don't have to commute. So those people that live out there are saying, you know what, I could have that 5-bedroom house with a pool, with a home office, and I don't have to pay, you know, double the price, and I get to work from home and make the same income. Hey, I'm looking at Riverside County. You guys have all experienced that recently, yes? Everybody's been seeing that. It's a big deal to understand that, you guys. So people are looking at houses in a different light. They want to have the home office. You know, I don't have a home office set up, so that's why I'm here, and I got what's called a virtual background. You know, no big deal. I see Maria Speeds in the kitchen, right? I see David. Whoa, is that not the kitchen? I'm sorry. Is that the walk-in closet? Dang, Maria.
No, this is my office.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I see the cupboards. It looks like a kitchen for a little bit there. You know, so we're going to really dive into what it takes to be a professional. So the agenda for the week, it's very simple. I want you guys to know it's every day, today through Friday. It's going to be 11 to 1. Okay. So we just set ourselves and we blocked off 2 hours. It doesn't mean that we have to go 2 hours. I just wanted you guys to set a block schedule for 2 hours so that we can, chime in, talk about certain things that we're going to be sharing. And it's going to be great. So today is going to be all about goals. Okay. So David's going to jump into that in a second. I know some of you cringed when I said goals. I know you are, because a lot of you don't believe in it, but we're going to talk about that. We're going to end every day with success stories from some of our agents. Some of the people that work with us that we know are going to talk about those topics and going to share some success stories of what they've done to achieve, either their goals or the psychology behind listing a property and things of that nature. Now, expectations, I want to be very clear. I want everybody to take notes. Ask lots of questions, you guys. This is going to be a workshop. I want you to participate, okay? Do me a favor, get out of your comfort zone. Just get out of your comfort zone for just this week. Try some of the strategies that we're gonna share. I'm trying to save you guys some of that money from the coaches and the things that you see online that say, hey, learn how to be a listing agent. I'll give you the 5 secrets. Just give me $1,000. Some of you do that, and that's fine. I understand that. But we're giving this right now for free to our agents because we see the value in becoming professionals, okay? So you have to get out of your comfort zone. If you don't try it, it's not gonna work, okay? What I want you to expect from us is you better be expecting some great content, because David and I have really come up with some great content for you guys. We want you guys to, at the end of the day, increase your business. That's the expectation you're going to have from us, is you need to increase your business, okay? If this doesn't increase your business and you tried it, then it didn't work. You can fire me, okay? I won't be your coach anymore. All right. So today we are going to dive into goals. Have you think of any business that you've ever seen or heard of? A business that grows without a goal is lucky. It's luck. Right? And let's look at your real estate business. Have you guys, some of you maybe just got your license last year. You don't have any goals. You don't believe in goals. And by the way, I was there before as well. Okay. I used to go to these seminars and be like, oh gosh, here we go. Write down your goals. But any business, including a real estate salesperson's business that doesn't have a number, a goal, something they're aspiring to, if you get, mom sells her house, cousin sells their house, and they call you, that's called luck. Now, am I saying that you can't get to a point where you are producing every single year because you're getting referral business? Absolutely you can, but that takes work, okay? That's a system. That takes you implementing a system. Charlene, you've been doing this for how long now? Just use your hands. Or maybe Jeff needs to add a hand, right? Is it 20, 30, 40, 50? How long have you been doing real estate? We're taking a guess because you're on mute. So I'm using hand signals here. Let's see. 10, 15 years? 15 years. In 15 years, you've seen, I'm sure that you've had success some years that you just get random phone calls from people that say, hey, I'm ready to do something, right? And you say, great, I wasn't expecting it, but that's the best feeling in the world. But you've also had years where I'm sure you said, you know what, I need to make X. And we've had this conversation. I need to do X, Y, Z. And so I'm going to implement or do something about it so that I make sure that my people send me the business when it's time to buy or sell. Okay. So that's something to keep in mind, you guys. Any business that doesn't budget, project, forecast, they're not going to be successful. And I want you to set yourselves up to find that success. Focus on the process, not the results. Write this down. We talked about this a few weeks ago. Focus on the process, not the results. If you take away anything from what I said today, this is the key sentence. I've been talking to some of the agents recently, yesterday, as a matter of fact, and we were talking about the process, not the results. It's so important to understand this theory. And, it's a new year. So the first thing we all do is we make resolutions. We say, I'm going to lose XYZ pounds. I'm going to gain this much muscle. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And then when we jump on the scale that first week, after literally doing nothing, we get pissed off at the scale. We say, man, the scale sucks. I didn't lose a pound because I'm focusing on the result of losing a pound. But I don't go back and hold myself accountable to saying, what did I do to lose a pound this week? Did I do anything? Right? Same concept in real estate. I want to do 20 transactions. I want to do $50,000. I want to do $200,000 this year. But I'm just going to shoot from the hip, and I'm going to hope that I get to $200,000 this year. And I know some of you think that way. I know it because I used to do it myself. So goals is it's a huge part of this, but focus on the process, meaning hold yourself accountable to what am I going to do to get to my result. Okay. Very, very huge point. So today we're going to start. We're going to talk about the goals. Like I said, David's going to really dive deep. It is a workshop. It's going to be interactive. Our company goal this year for 2021, I want to make it very, very apparent, is to increase our listings, our closed listings by 21%. Yay, Century 21, right? 21% increase. Now I've done my homework. I know that we closed in 2020, 179 listings that we closed. We took more than that. We took more than 200, but I'm not talking about just signing a listing. I'm talking about closed transactions, because it has to be very, very obvious and in your face. I want us to grow that by 21%. Do the math, boop, boop, boop. Who could tell me what that is? It's 216 closed listings for 2021. Okay. That's about an average. I'm sorry. We closed 179 this year. It's about an average of 15 closed listings a month. Okay. What would one extra listing a month do for your business? Think about that you close and get paid on. Okay. That would be amazing. So I have my number in mind, and that's why the process to get you to help us achieve that goal is to build your business, to do things like this workshop, like the amazing training that David had for us last week. You know, we want to bring so much value to you guys that if it doesn't work, it's really because we're just not trying. We're not implementing this process. So 21%. Now that means we're going to close 216 transactions. But think for a second, we helped 179 families sell a property in 2020. That's insane. I mean, think about that for a second. That's insane. 180 families all over the state of California sell a house this year. That's a lot of people. That is a lot of people. Kudos to everybody for working so hard, but we want more. We want to do 21% increase. That's just the company level. So when David breaks it down, we're going to talk about your personal goals as well. It's a big task, but I know we can get there, and you have to believe in the process, not the results. Okay. So before I let you go and get right into this, I wanted to share just a quick quote that I found that I think makes total sense today, because I think you and I were having a conversation about goals, and I told you this quote, and I said, I need to find out who said this. I forgot who said this. So it was actually Bill Gates. So Bill Gates said, most people overestimate what they can do in 1 year, and they underestimate what they can do in 10 years. So think about that. Let me give you an example. You know, hey, Felipe, what's your goal this year? I'm going to lose 35 pounds. I'm going to buy a house. I'm going to, get my own business. I'm going to do blah, blah, blah. In 1 year, in 12 months, hey, Felipe, what are you doing in 5 years? I don't know, buying a car. I have no idea, right? That's how most of us typically think. We need to shift that. We need to make sure that we know exactly what we're trying to achieve this year, and not just talking about it. We have to actually write it down. What is it that we want to do this year? What's the process going to be like? But what's the 5-year goal? What's the weekly goal? What's the 10-year goal? If you don't have a plan, you guys have all heard this before. So with that, anybody have any questions about the whole thing, anything about the workshop? I mean, I hope you're excited. Take lots of notes, you guys. It is going to be interactive. But if nobody has anything to add to that right now, I'm going to go ahead and kick things off and hand it over to our man, the man of the hour, Mr. David Broden.
Awesome, Felipe. Thank you so much, guys. 21% increase, Century 21 Preferred. I love it. It's a great way for us to be able to just kind of focus in on it and not lose track of that great goal. So diving into goals, I want maybe a show of hands, maybe a word in the chat. Who hit their goals for last year? All right, we're gonna start right there. Last year, who had a goal last year and they hit that goal? So I got my hand up. I got Rebecca's hand up, Aaron's hand up. I see Maria Speed's hand is up. Anybody else's hand up? Anybody in the chat, Felipe? Okay, so it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of us, maybe. Okay, maybe 6 of us. There are 29 of us, and Richard is on the call. So, all right. So there's room for improvement. Always is. For all of you that worked hard last year, I know that we're going to help you to be even better this year. And so to start with goals, and I know we did a training about this at the end of the year, and we're bringing it back again because this is the critical piece. Felipe and I sat down and we said, if we put together this workshop, what's going to be the first stepping stone for your success? And the very first stepping stone that we see for your success is going to be actually writing down your goals. Okay, now I'm going to share my screen real quick. And you see what we got on the screen. There's the word SMART. All right, these are SMART goals that we write down. And so I'm going to give you an example. You take this whole acronym right here. I'm going to give you an example of what this is. SMART is specific, M is measurable, or the S is, A is achievable, R is relevant, and T is time bound. So here's an example. Or better yet, make it more interactive. Before I give my example, somebody give me an example of each of these points. Here we go. Let's get this interactive. Somebody give me an example of each of these points with a goal. So just dive right on in and start talking.
I'll kick it off real quick. So like I said, you know, I did post, I have a goal. I'm going to lose 35 pounds this year. So if it's specific, I'm giving it a number. It is something that's measurable. I know I can hit that, and it is relevant to me, to my health. It's something that I need to do because I took the COVID-15 that everybody talks about, and I more than doubled it this year. Or last year. So I need to get back on track, and I have a time frame in mind. You know, I have 12 months to accomplish that. So that's my personal, just one goal, one example.
Awesome. Thank you, Felipe. Somebody else dive on and give me another example of a SMART goal, maybe one that you've set already, or you can define or use this acronym to define it for us. Go ahead, jump in.
Come on,
Go ahead.
One of the goals that I've set for this year that I would like to accomplish is actually implementing systems that work as far for real estate. That way I can, you know, measure my success based off of those systems and if they actually work for me, and then determining if they do or don't work, what other systems can I implement as I scale my real estate business. So that's what I've set.
Okay. All right. Fantastic. Very good. Very good. I'm going to jump in one more. Third one, like to work in threes over here. So take my goal, $250,000 in sales. All right. Actually, not sales, but commission. Measurable, need 24 homes at $450,000. That's the numbers. A is for achievable. I need to prospect 2 hours every day. That's what we're going to do to make that happen. Relevant, it's going to help me pay off some of the debts that I got. Time bound, completed again by December 31st, 2021. So there's an example for us again, seeing how we can use this acronym for SMART when we're writing our goals. Now, another question for you all, and so let's see if we can get an answer on this one here, because I mentioned a word that started with W, writing. How many of us have our goals written for 2021? Show of hands, put it up in the chat. How many's got them all written down? I got 1, I got 2, 3. Okay, so some of us got some work to do today. Guess what? You're in the right place, because that's what we're going to do here is we're going to be writing down those goals. And so here's a couple of acronyms for you for goals. All right, I thought of one of these this morning. The other one I stole. All right, goals. Go out and list something. All right, go out and list something. I don't care if it's a piece of dirt, if it's a mobile home, or, you know, $10 million mansion over in Dana Point somewhere. Doesn't matter. Go out and list something. That's right. Another acronym for goals to kind of fire you up and get you in interjet here. Goals are the groundwork of a listing specialist. Groundwork of a listing specialist. Those are goals. So those are kind of things that we can think about maybe as we are kind of contemplating what our goals are going to be for 2021. All right. So what does a realtor with goals look like? Someone describe to me a realtor that has goals. What does it look like in your mind?
Focus.
Focus. Good one.
Mm-hmm. What else?
A set schedule.
Ooh, schedule. Awesome. What else?
Time blocking.
Time blocking, scheduling. Mm-hmm.
Consistency.
Ooh, consistency. What else we got?
Talking to every person you see.
Oh, there we go.
I'm going to call that one prospecting.
There we go. What else? I'm writing these down as well.
So I'm putting them on the chat also, just so you see. And then Ellen,
Did they
you have
say
your
organization?
Organization.
Organized?
Yes. Yeah.
Thank you, Becky. So we got
Mm.
focused.
Tracking.
Sorry, Maria?
Tracking.
Ooh, that's a good one right there.
I hate that one.
Yep.
Very good.
And by the way, participation means this is the time to talk about the things that frustrate you in your business. So like she said, I hate tracking, but we know that we should be doing it. So let's talk about it. So Linda Rubio said dedication, just being dedicated to what you're doing and understanding the value of learning your trade. I mean, that's huge.
Mm-hmm.
How about dreaming? Because I know for me, it's like, I think I'm afraid of being successful. Like I don't think I'm going to do that much. I want to just keep it reasonable, simple. I want to do what I think I can do. But when you sit in that spot, it doesn't drive you. You're just sitting.
Right?
I
Dream
agree.
big. Dream audaciously big. Do it. And because what's the worst thing that's gonna happen? You're gonna get half of that and you're still gonna be like, oh my gosh, I'm more successful than I ever thought I could have been, right? For sure.
David, on that note, it's very important to understand too, because I've been having this conversation a lot, that we've been talking about goals with agents, is don't think that goal setting means that you understand that, oh, if I fail, I hit, some of it. So don't just think that by saying, I want to do 100 deals this year, you're going to do 50. It doesn't work that way. You still have to think about the process. So I'm gonna reiterate the ones that we just wrote down here, David, for you. So realtor with goals is focused, has a set schedule, time blocks, is consistent, prospects, is organized, is dedicated, and tracks their results. That's great.
All of those. I mean, all that came from you guys, not from us. That is just great stuff. So you see already in your mind what it takes to be a successful realtor with goals. So because this is interactive and I want you guys to actually get this done, for the 3 people that had their hands up that had written goals, all right, you can participate in this event as well. The other 20 of us, 29 of us that are here, this is when we get to do some work. All right. We've broken this up into 4 segments. There's 6-minute segments. And if you did not download the worksheet that came in the email today, that is okay. That is okay because I'm going to share it on the screen for you now. All right, so let's start on with number 1. Here we go. So you should see here, if I can pull this screen to the front, 10-day goals. We're going to start small. Now, don't worry, we're going to get into the whole listing part of it, but right now, we're building a foundation for your goals. And so as you see there on the screen, it says, my 10-day goals, 5 aspects of your life: spiritual, family, business, financial, and personal. We're literally going to play some music for the next 6 minutes. And I want you, I've got it right here myself. I want you to take time right now, because if we don't do it now, guess what? Is it going to happen? Let's just be honest with ourselves. We'll think about it next week and it'll never be. Write today's date at the top of the screen there, or you have a blank piece of paper. You're going to write today's date. You're going to write 1/19/21. And by, what is that? 10 days from now. What's 10 days from now? I don't have my calendar out. What day is that?
29.
29,
January 29th.
1, 29, 21, I will. So this is a chance. I want you to block out what's happening around you. And for the next 6 minutes and 7 seconds, because that's how long this sound clip is, I want you to fill in your next 10-day goals.
Participation, guys. Come on. Let's do it.
There we go. So I don't know the last time you sat and really just paused, and maybe the music was great for you. Maybe you muted it and it was better for you to be in silence. Everybody works differently, their minds, they understand that. But I really hope that you've got a page. It's got some goals on it like we've got right here. And what I want you to do with this page, so you're going to keep this, you're going to take this page, you're going to tape this to your bathroom mirror. Okay? You're going to tape this page to your bathroom mirror, and you're going to look at this for the next 10 days. And you're going to see those every single day. And you know what that's going to do? That's going to motivate you. That's going to encourage you. It's going to remind you of what you're working toward. We start with baby steps, because when we can complete these 10-day goals, that encourages us, revitalizes us. Hey, I knocked that out. Boom. What's next? Right? So go ahead.
Can I add to that, David? So, it's funny because we asked what makes an agent that has set goals, and one of the things was tracking, dedication. So we're not saying that by writing this down and taping it to your mirror that life's going to be perfect for you, because I know that life throws curveballs at all of us. I mean, we've been hit with pandemics and family things and what have you. So that's a natural occurrence. But I guarantee you what David's saying is by taping this to your mirror and actually writing down, taking the time. I don't know about you, but I haven't written down my goals in a long time. Okay, so some of you have done this before. Some of you think it's cheesy, and that's okay. We're only asking for participation today, because when you take a look at this and you say, I told myself I was going to do X in the next 10 days, just 10 days, and life throws a curveball, you're going to have to adjust. You're going to have to change, but you're going to know at the end of the week or the end of the day, you're going to realize maybe I didn't lose the 2 pounds this 10 days because I didn't stick to my 10-day goals. So I also wanted to just chime in and participate and ask, because I don't know about you guys, but I took this seriously. I wrote it down. I had a couple questions or challenges with some of them. So if anybody has a hard time with some of these, like for example, I think the family one, I made it very specific. I said for the next 10 days, I want to continue working on my relationships with my family, with my wife. And so how am I going to do that? I committed, I'm going to cook 2 dinners the next 10 days. I'm going to commit to cooking 2 dinners the next 10 days. It might seem trivial, it might seem simple, but when you think about it, if I hadn't thought about this, written it down, I take my family for granted sometimes, and we all do. We take our stuff for granted, right? So I'm now forcing myself that I'm going to commit. I'm going to cook 2 dinners next week, right? I'm going to come home and say, hey, babe, I love you. I cooked dinner for us, okay? So will that help with my family situation? Maybe, right? It might help with my relationship. I made it a point that next week I'm going to commit. I'm going to make sure I talk to my parents and my family and my son. I'm going to reach out and talk to them, because work takes over. And I didn't even talk to my son all of last week. I mean, has that ever happened to you guys, where you actually think about it, you say, well, shoot, business got in the way, life is in the way, I'm so busy. But if I wrote it down, it's a simple reminder. And I hope you guys see the power behind actually just writing this stuff down for 10 days. Now, the one I had a challenge with, I'll be honest with you guys, and maybe you guys want to chime in. I had a challenge with the first one, spiritual. I couldn't think of anything. Right out the gate, I couldn't think of anything. I'm being open and honest. I mean, did anybody have any hard times or challenges with any of these? Because to me, I wrote down literally nothing for spiritual. I just couldn't think of anything right away. So I went into family, I went into business, I went into financial and personal, but I left spiritual blank because I couldn't think about what to write on there. So who wants to help me out? Does anybody want to chime in on that or experience the same thing?
I have been reading like a positive book, so like every morning, that's like what I do when I wake up. I realize that I tend to grab my phone and then you get caught up on Facebook or emails or something. And it's like, that's such a yucky way to start your day. And so I have a book, and I think over the last few months, this is my 3rd book. And I thought, oh my gosh, you don't realize if you just read a chapter a day of something, it puts me in a much better mindset. And I feel like that to me is spiritual. And I'm trying to walk more. And so I read and then I go walk. And then that walk time allows me to, I don't know, think, process, think about what I was reading. So it's helping.
Awesome.
I agree with you, Maria. I've made it a goal to pick up my devotional book before I pick up my phone. And that's hard because we want to grab the phone first and foremost. And there's so much negativity on social media right now. So that my goal is that reaching for my devotions before I reach for my phone.
That's a good one. That's a
Man.
good one.
I
Love-
actually don't have my phone next to my bed. It's over in another section, so I can't, it's not like it's just right there. That helps
Awesome.
too.
It does. And then I saw Charlene. Charlene, first of all, I love your Pinterest
Tammy.
background. That's not that's a photo, right? That's not your real house. Look at that. It's amazing.
My house.
I know it looks amazing. So congrats.
Oh,
That looks
thank
awesome. Tell Jeff you did a great job. So
Thank
Charlene, I know you're big on goals and maybe you can you had
Well,
something to add.
For me, yeah. So goal is, I never really liked that word. I'm trying to, I'm coming at this with an open mind,
Good.
so I can have a new experience. But I like to, I love visualization. That really works for me. It just really, really works for me. So under spiritual, I put meditation. I'm right there with Maria, like no phone. I've put my, I try to go off Facebook, but then I need it for my business. I need it for, we have 2 different businesses, so I need it for both. So I put it under businesses. I grouped all my little, I've tried to put it on my last page, and then I end up, you can really access your last page of apps on your phone super easy. So that really doesn't work for me. But one thing I'm trying to do is just put it in business. So it's like anything to do with business is in my little business folder on my phone. And so it reminds me when I'm going into this, it's not about being social. For me right now, it's about business. So for me, it's meditation, mindfulness, and being more present in, with the people around me. And so with meditation, that scares a lot of people, but just sitting quietly, put a timer on your phone. If just start at 5 minutes and then 10 minutes. And for me, it's just being quiet, just this racing mind, just settling down. And that affects me the whole rest of the day. I'm much more present with people, which is good for business. It's full circle. So
It really is.
that's what I have to say about that.
Great input, great feedback. I mean, and when we asked a realtor with goals has the following, the first one was focused, and meditation is a great way to focus and get prepared for the day. So again, if you're on the call, you're listening in, I know that we have a certain number of people that like to contribute and participate. It's about giving it the opportunity, you guys. If you've never tried it, you have to write down and give this a try. Come at it with an open mind, like Charlene said, because again, this will help change your business, so to speak.
Sure.
So
I
David?
know Tammy had her hand up as well. We'll let you, and then we'll move on. Go ahead, Tammy.
Yeah, I pray every day when I get up and when I go to sleep. It starts my day out great, and it also ends my day.
That's
great.
Awesome.
Very,
That is awesome.
very key right there. Connecting to something higher than ourselves, so critical. So thank you guys so much for sharing. You guys are doing great. I really appreciate everybody being here, all the feedback. I know we're going to walk away from this so much better than when we came in, from the 2 hours that we're here. And we're going to keep moving. That was the first of 4 baby steps. All right. So again, we start with 10 days. And then, of course, what happens? Well, we move up. So you should have another worksheet there. All right. We're going to do this again. We're really going to get you guys moving, maybe slightly out of your comfort zone, but it's going to, I tell you this, I'll share this point and then we'll start. And you guys got 6 minutes to write your 90-day goals. I never wrote down my financial goal until last year. I hit my goal last year. So when I finally wrote it down, I actually accomplished it. So I know this works from my own experience. And I know that there are others on this call who have written down and seen this come to fruition as well. So for those of you who haven't, maybe, great opportunity. So we've got 6 more minutes. I want you to focus again. The next 90 days, what does your life look like in the next 5 areas? Boom. So how did that one? A little bit more work there, huh? Yeah, a little bit more thinking, like stretching it a little bit, our mind, like how far am I going to go? Is there anyone who would like to share? Felipe, he was great and just kind of opening up there and kind of got the conversation started. Anyone would like to share some of their 90-day goals from any one of those 5 different areas of your life? Anybody want to share?
And this makes it interesting because, you know, again, a lot of people think that writing down goals can be corny or cheesy, but I was going to ask before we kick this off, this 90-day segment, has anybody ever written down goals and had success like David just mentioned? So I'll start off. The only time I wrote down my goals, I was at a Brian Tracy event in Anaheim. And same thing, I was just in sales and he was like, okay, write down your goals, put it in your little pocket, whatever, all that stuff. That's the only time I ever did this. And some of you know I'm not lying, because if you've been here, you know, more than 5 years, I actually talked about this before. That was the only time in my life I ever did my sales goal of over $250,000 in 1 year, was when I wrote it down. And I thought it was, you know, like, oh, whatever, I'm there, I'm hanging out with my friends. I'm like, yeah, whatever, write down goals. This is dumb. So I wrote down, I'll sell $250,000, you know, or more in salary, blah, 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 and whatever else it was. And I wrapped it up. And I remember I put it in my little, you know, sunglass compartment in my vehicle that day. And the goal was at the end of the year, we were going to look at them and revisit and see, how did you do? That was the only time that I hit that goal. And I did over $250,000 in a year. And I was like, this is nuts. So, you know, it's not saying that just because you write it down, it's going to happen. But that's where I became a believer of understanding the process. Because when you do this stuff and take time for 10 little, you know, the next 10 days, the next month, the next 90 days, you're looking and seeing, like I said, I was going to, you know, do, you know, 50 escrows this year, but I haven't left my house. Am I really going to do this? So has anybody ever written down their goals and found success? Richard says yes. Had to do it every single year with his previous company. You know, it was a sales heavy driven company, not real estate related, but it was a sales heavy driven company. And he had to write them down every single year. And, you know, when you have those repercussions on, or those demands on you, Richard, right? Like where they're saying you have to sell X, Y, Z, or you're not getting paid, or you're blah, blah, blah. It really then opens your eyes to say, okay, what do I need to do to make that sales happen? Okay, so has anybody had success writing down goals previously, other than myself and David?
Okay. So I used to, my previous company that I worked for, we did go every year. And 1 year, I had one that we have to do a board and put pictures. And I put a house. And I thought, I was like, when I'm going to buy another house, a second home, investment property. So, but I always was looking and think about that. And so I had a client one time that told me, why you don't buy my house? And it's like, so in the end, I ended up buying a house, a second home. So, and I always think, and I was thinking about my goal, and I was like, wow, that's work. And especially, I believe after that, what happened with me is not just a house. I had before the same with a car, with computers, and you know, I put the pictures, and I've been looking the pictures. They have techniques for that. They teaching techniques. I wasn't a believer on that. So, and I don't know why I stopped. So I guess I should do more.
Consistency, right? Consistency in everything we do. And thank you for sharing. You know, one quick note on the 90-day, because it gets difficult, and sometimes it takes more than 6 minutes. But again, David's doing a great job, because he's forcing us to just try it out and just do what you can in the 6 minutes. Give you an example for financial or for business. So Charlene, maybe this will help you as well. So I put, because I did a 10-year goal for business, but what's my 90-day goal, right? So I put, how about making sure that I beat out last year's first quarter? That's 90 days. So we can now start tracking on a quarterly basis 90 days of business and family and financial and personal. And I know how much we did last year in the first quarter. My goal is to beat that number by X% this quarter. How am I going to do that? Well, I'm going to make sure I stay on everybody and stay on myself. And so hopefully that helps you guys. Aaron Johnson wrote down, I had to write down my goals for career development boards for the military. Typically, the chain of command has helped to ensure that I've met or worked towards my goals. That's huge. You know, anybody that's ever, and thanks for your service, Aaron, you know, full-time Navy right now. So Aaron, welcome to the team and thank you for your service. But it's so true. You know, the military does a great job, or can do a great job, depends on your MOS, right? Of holding you accountable and giving you the tools that you need to achieve your goals. Okay, holding you accountable, and that's brilliant. So that's excellent. Does anybody else want to share their 90-day goals?
Felipe, this is Richard. You know, what Claudia was talking about as far as a visual, you got to kind of internalize and think what you want. Let's say you wanted a new car, or you want to put money even in the bank. Get a picture of that and post that picture as Hey David was saying, either on your bathroom mirror or even in your car. Just a small little reminder, what is it that you're trying to go for? It will really help you reach your goal.
Thank you. Thank you. And I have one more. So Denise Vasquez is driving right now, and she's sharing with me, yes, I wrote my goals down and I had a vision board last year. I met all of them because I believed in it and I did it. So congratulations. Now, Denise was not only one of our top salespeople this year for 2020. You know, I believe she purchased a home. She's done so much this year, and she's attesting it to the fact that she wrote down her goals. She believed in them. But I think the key here is not just writing it down, but actually focusing on what it is you said you were going to try to do, right? And it holds yourself accountable. Okay, so this is great, David.
Well, guess what? It gets better, everybody, because if we stretch them, you know, you go to the gym and you work out, you do the light weights first, you know, and then you move up to a little bit bigger weights. And so, you know, it would only make sense, right? It would only make sense if we just push the weight up a little bit, right? So if we push the weight up, oh, look what's on the screen, 1 year goals. Oh, yes, indeed. We are going to stretch your mind. We're going to stretch your goal setting muscles just a little bit more. We got 6 more minutes. I want you to look at this. Do as best you can. Again, write something on the page, because as we're hearing in this wonderful workshop we're in, of all of those goals that have been achieved by doing what we're doing right now. Century 21 Preferred, Felipe, and all the team there want you to be successful. And so this is what this is about, is helping to set you up so that you can be the most successful you possibly can be in 21. All right? So it's there on the screen if you don't have it. The music's ready to cue up. 1 year, you got 6 minutes.
In a meeting. What can I do?
There we go. We have completed step 1, step 2, and step 3. And now we're looking at our 1-year goals. And come on now, talk to me, guys. What have we written down? What are our aspirations for 21 in our spiritual, family, business, financial, and personal? Who would love to share something that you've written down?
And
One
real
of the
quick.
things that
Oh, Aaron, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, so for me, one of the things that I put down for as far as family is actually taking a family vacation. And in the last 11 years of my military service, I have yet to have been able to take a vacation with my family. So that's one of the biggest things for me is this year, hopefully COVID eases and I can take a family vacation, a real one.
That's great. That is fantastic.
That's huge.
Mhm.
I thought the Navy was a vacation, Aaron.
Nah, it's not a vacation. You know it's not.
I had to give that to you. So I have a question. So who's bold enough to share with us? Because we're focusing on goals, but we are talking about listings and business and real estate. And who's bold enough to share with us? Give us some feedback about a financial goal, a business goal, or something that they want to see happen either within 90 or a year. I mean, who wants to share a goal that they actually wrote down?
Come on.
I'll go.
Richard.
I'll share my goal.
Well,
I'm going
Richard
to
first,
do,
and then
I'm going to do a minimum of 6 deals, both sides this year.
I didn't hear that one, Richard. One more time. Sorry.
I'm going to do a minimum of 6 deals, both sides.
6 deals, both sides. Excellent. And I like how he said, I will do, not I want, he said, I will close. Was that Emery?
So my financial goal for the year is to be out of student loan debt. I need to buy a new car, so I want that paid off, and I would like to purchase an investment property.
Ooh, I like that. Investment homes, something I've been talking to a lot of agents about is, the best way to wealth is to start building your portfolio now. And, you don't want to be doing real estate for forever. You want to make sure that you start building yourselves a portfolio, a retirement portfolio, and that includes investment homes. So that's great, Emery. Thank you so much. I am getting texts. I know a lot of you might be driving and you're not able to, but Denise, I got your text, and she will make $250,000 this year. So that's on the check. So that's a great goal to have. And I know that you're meeting with Shelly, and you and I can discuss later on as well. But we want to make sure you have a game plan to get to that point. Great job. And it's about having that vision, having that number in mind, but knowing the process, right? We're not going to focus on results in 2021. We are going back to basics. We're writing down goals, for crying out loud here, and we're going to go back to basics and focus on the process. So does anybody else want to share a number, a goal for business or financial?
I'll go ahead and jump right in, share with everybody, what we got going on. My team is growing, so I'm going to be able to delegate to my team to increase production, because I too am looking to, or shall eclipse the 250K goal for my household this year in commission. So that's going to happen. And so we've already implemented some of these things. And so I'm just excited for where it's going to go. It's going to I told you guys last year it was going to happen. You're going to see an agent. So it looks like this is at least 2 of us for sure. I don't know who else wrote that down. 250K.
250. That's awesome. That's awesome. Come on, I want to hear one more. Anybody else have a financial business goal in mind that they want to share? And here's a little secret. If you share it, it's going to be even harder for you to not accomplish that goal. Just like when I told everybody, great, Paul Wilkinson took his broker's exam and passed the week before I did. Everybody knew I was taking mine. And I said, I can't afford to fail, because if I fail now, everybody like, oh, you'll pass. So if you share with us your goal, it's going to be even harder to not hit that goal. So who has a number in mind they want to share with us?
I have a goal.
Is that Jennifer?
Yep, it's
Hey,
me.
Jennifer, go ahead.
My goal is to either close 24 transactions or over $10 million in closed business.
Ooh, yes.
That's a great goal to have. 10 million in business, 24 transactions. Awesome job. Great goals. Jennifer was obviously our top sales agent for 2020. Congratulations. And I
Thank
love
you.
that you just continue to strive to push yourself to do more. So that's great. That's perfect. Again, the process, not the results, but that's a great 1-year goal to have in mind. Anybody else want to share just a number?
I want to do 42 sides.
Oh, that's Patrick. That's my buddy Patrick. So Patrick has a goal. We went and had lunch and talked about this. 42 transactions. Guaranteed that if you spend the time to talk to Patrick, he will share with you exactly how he's going to get there, because we've done that ourselves, and it's strategic. And it has to be, because Patrick, have you ever done 42 sides by just shooting from the hip? I know the answer.
No. Methodical.
Got to be methodical. Got to be methodical. Someone just texted me asking me my goal. My goal is to help. So Shelly's goal is to help. Well, Shelly, you're on the call. Where are you at, Shelly?
And here I am.
Hey.
Well, I had someone text me, and I guess it was George, because he just told me who it was, asking me what my goal was. So my goal is to help each of you achieve your goals by helping you with your marketing plan.
Awesome.
So there you go.
Very cool, you guys. This is great information to share and talk about. And like I said, if you do share it and you were bold enough, congratulations and kudos, because it's going to be even harder for you to not hit that goal now. Because now I'm going to say, hey, you said you were doing XYZ. What happened? Felipe said he's losing 35 pounds. What happened? Right? So we gotta hold each other accountable, but you put it out there, it is going to happen, you guys. You have to strive and work towards that goal. So that's amazing information. Thank you, David.
So we got one more exercise before we get into the real nitty-gritty business type stuff. All right, because I've got business numbers you're gonna be writing down today. So don't think this is all just the 5 segments of your life. We're going to focus heavy on business, but we got one more, because Felipe said something. We're going to repeat the quote from Bill Gates. Most people overestimate what they can do in 1 year and underestimate what they can do in 5 years. So we're going to stretch you out one more time. We're going to stretch you out. You see it on the screen. There it is. There it is, folks. Now, this one here is not specific to any particular area of your life, but you see on the screen there your 5-year goals. So I want you to think big. I'm talking bigger than you've ever thought before. And we're going to spend the next 6 minutes. And where do you see yourself, your business specifically, in 5 years? You know, if you're doing 100,000 right now and you want to 2x that every single year, is 100,000, that's 200,000, that's 400,000, that's 800,000, that's 1.6 million. All right, in 5 years. That's if you just 2x your business every year, right? So I want you to think really big of where you can take your business. You're going to do 10 sides of business each year, 10, 20, 40, 80, 160. That's a lot of business. And guess what? You can do it. So we're going to take the next 6 minutes here. I want you to just think big and outrageous, because you can and you will achieve those goals. Next 5 years, where are you going to be?
Richard, so crazy. Sorry, Daniel, for you. It's crazy wind out there. Just started. Hey, Cecil. Hey, how are you? How you feeling? Good?
All right, so here we go. You guys have got to share some of this stuff. I just can't imagine the cool stuff, the great ideas that you were writing down just now. So we're going to talk specifically about your business. All right, specifically about your business. Where do you see your business in 5 years from now? Go ahead, whoever wants to be first, jump on in. I won't go first because they've taught me that you got to let your students go first. So 5 years from now, where do you see your business?
And now, David, can we stop sharing the screen for a sec?
Let's do it.
Let's see everybody.
There you go.
All right, who's first? This is hard, right? 5 years is tough. And that's why that quote, it speaks volumes, because it's so true. It's so easy to say, I'm going to do this, this, and this year, and then let the rest of it come if it does, and we'll see what happens. So it's not easy. Praveen put on the chat. Look at that. So Praveen is shy. She doesn't want to tell us, but she's going to chat or type it on the chat. Can you unmute yourself? Do you want to share with us? Do you want to talk about it? Come on, you can do it. There you go.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So like I said, I want to have at least 5 houses as a rental property.
Wow.
Because I will be selling that house in Ladera Ranch, I hope. Hopefully, and definitely. And then me and my husband, I think we're gonna travel a lot.
That's
And
awesome.
my place to go is Middle East, and I want to see a lot of religious places. And what else did I say? Yeah, so we have some income coming every month from rental property. And we're getting old. I mean, that's what we are working for, to build that house, the one I'm telling you. Remember I told you,
Yeah.
Felipe?
Yes, I do.
So yeah, as soon as we sell that house, and we have another lot in the same area, and hopefully we will build that maybe next year or next year and a half later.
Okay.
So I think we will be in a good place. Our whole life we were working, and now it's time to just
And that's
relax.
so true. It's time to enjoy, and having it written down, understanding that, what is it going to take to get to be able to travel for, all those places is going to take property. So you have a number in mind. It's achievable. It's something that's measurable. I love it. Tammy Oval put on here in the chat, but I think you're on the call as well. There's Tammy. Do you want to share it? Do you want me to read it off? You tell me.
Read it, please.
So Tammy has worked 2 jobs for over 15 years. She's a hardworking woman. I plan to retire from my school job in 2022 so I can give 100% to my real estate business. And just to share with you guys, Tammy's been for the last 5.5 years that I've known her, that I've had the pleasure of working with her, she's always busted her butt and worked extremely hard and has always consistently had success in real estate. I mean, she could do so much more if she didn't have 2 jobs, but I'm excited for you that you have a goal in mind, 2 more years, 1 more year, and that's it. And then it's 100% real estate. That's going to be awesome. Very cool. Very, very cool.
One more. Somebody give us one more. We're going to jump into our last write-up for the day. One more. Share those 5-year goals for us. What you got? Don't be shy. I know you wrote something on that paper. I saw you guys writing down.
So for my 5-year goal, I've been working closely with Patrick. He's been mentoring me a lot. So I want to keep working with him, keep learning, and then eventually start running my own real estate team. And then also partnering up with a real estate investment group, so that way I'm not working so hard as far as trying to find clients to either list their homes or sell homes to.
Man, love what I'm hearing right there. Starting out, building your own, partnering with others. That's how businesses grow, not trying to do everything on your own. So I love what you're thinking over there, Aaron. Fantastic, man. Love it, love it, love it. So check it out, everybody. This is when you got to write down some numbers. It was coming. I actually gave you the easy stuff in the beginning. So there's a 1-year business plan. There's your current business and there's your projected business. All right, so in order for us to have successes, if we've written down all these goals, we've really got your gears turning, because to write goals, it takes some time to kind of like, what do I really want? Where am I heading? So your gears are turning now. All right, you've oiled up the machine. And so I'm gonna throw it on the screen one more time, because I don't know if everyone had an opportunity to print this or not, but I am gonna throw it back up on the screen for you all. And here it is. It's your 1-year business plan. So what I want you to do, right? Again, this is interactive. Where it says current business, I want you to put in there basically 2020. What happened in 2020? What was your current taxable income? What did you sell in 2020? My current units for 2020, how many homes did you sell in 2020? And then, I don't know, maybe most of us, the answer is 1 to number 3. I currently have how many staff members? Put the number that's on there. This is where you guys get to do some work. If you don't have it, this is going to be homework. Okay. I want you to write it down now if you have it. But for bullet point number 4, it says my current business expenses are, what did you spend in your business in 2020? Your marketing, I don't know if you were your meals out, your closing gifts, your MLS, your association dues, everything that goes into running your business. What is that number? That's number 4 right there. Then you've got to dig a little bit deeper. And you got to say, my sources of business were. So in 2020, where did your business come from? So was 50% of your business repeat? Was 25% of your business sphere of influence? Was 25%, 10% of your business, a Zillow leads or however it is you were getting business? I want you to write that in this space, okay? And then do a little self diagnosis of what is my biggest weakness right now? Like where do you need to be strengthened in your business? So what is my biggest weakness? Write that on that line there, number 6. My net income per transaction. This is critical for you to know. You can say, I need to sell X amount of units to be able to make so many dollars. That's where you can come in and say, I sold $3 million in sales. That was 10 transactions. I basically at $300,000 a sale. Okay, is what that number is going to come out to be. I hope we're doing this right here. Number 8, my yearly savings was, how much did you put away this year of your income? Okay. And guys, listen to this right here. Number 9, how many hours did you work last year? We talked about tracking. We wrote that down here. What we want to do, we want to be tracking. Do you know how many hours you're actually working every week? So write down how many hours you worked last week or last year on a weekly basis. All right, and then my average sales price, this is actually for mortgage lenders as well, which is why it's there, but what was your average sales price for the home that you sold? So I'm going to give you guys, yes, indeed, the 6 minutes. And I want you to work on this. What happened last year? Because in order for us to be able to get to where we want to be this year, we've got to see where we were last year so we can accomplish that goal. Okay? I want to do 25 sales this year. What happened last year? What are the changes that I'm going to have to make in order to make that a reality? So I want you to, if you don't have those numbers right now, you've got 6 minutes to try and fill in as much of this as you can. What you don't finish is going to be homework. But again, I encourage you to put in as much as you can right now, because that's what's going to help you. And then if time permits, if you're moving pretty quickly through this, I don't want to slow anybody down. Feel free to jump into, while we're taking our time and we're really processing this out, jump into the projected business, where you're going to be this year. Those numbers that you wrote down, write them on here as well, because this is what you're going to take to work. This is what you're going to put in your briefcase, wherever you are. You're going to look at this bad boy every single day. So you got 6 more minutes. All right. Focus. Where were you last year? Where are you headed to this year? Everybody got that one? Let's get it done. just want to say all of you guys are rock stars that are participating today, because where you're going from here, I'm be blown away. Like, I'm so excited for 21 for all of us that are writing these things down. This has been game changing for me. So, and I know Felipe can speak to it. Those who have had success as well can speak to it. We've got some testimonies that are coming up here in just a moment. But I want us to just take a little bit closer look at, as we're planning out. Somebody's driving. There we go. Alrighty. As we're writing this down, kind of like, how do you get to these places? Like, so if we're looking at your projected business, if you're down at the bottom of this page right here in your projected businesses, my taxable income will be, all right, so whatever that number is, how do you get to the units that's going to be? Does that make sense? So I want to kind of help you understand how you get to these units. So, because if I say that my taxable income will be $250,000, okay, let's just use that number, okay? Well, $250,000, how much do I have to do in sales? Now, to make it really easy for you, you can say, I need $10 million in sales at 2.5% will give me $250,000. Does that make sense? To get to $10 million in sales, how do I accomplish that? So you're going to have to take, I chose a number. So for me, I took 10 million, right? And I divided that by $450,000 sales point of price point. And that gives me 22 sides of business. Does that make sense? Everybody follow me there? So that's how you can get to what your units need to be for you to be able to accomplish what you're doing there. So taxable income, you need to see what that's going to be. Then take that number there, see what the sales volume you need to do, and then whatever your percentage that you're trying to get. So because buyers are a little bit tougher now, 2% we're seeing out there. I maybe can't get 3% across the board, but maybe I can get right in the middle. The listings one side, some buyers on the side. 2.5 is a good number to use. All right. Who are you going to need on your team? Is it just you? I hope you're using a TC. I really do. If there's nothing else, there should be one more person on your team, and make sure you got a TC there, or someone that's helping you, because there's a lot of work. What business do you know? Here's the question. What business do you know that operates successfully with one person? What business out there operates successfully with one person running it? The crickets that we're hearing right now is the truth. There's just none out there, right? So hopefully you guys are growing your team, and at least you've got that TC. We got a staff members, and we're going to get into all the tools and stuff coming up here on on Thursday. We'll get into the tools and all that stuff, all right? My business expenses will be, we're down at bullet point number 4. What did it cost you to operate your business this year versus what are you going to need next year, all right? We are business owners, and as business owners, we have to have these things written down so we know how we can forecast, as Felipe mentioned, to be able to see if we can actually accomplish all these goals that we're setting forth to do. Now, I really hope that you spend some time on bullet points number 5, because where is the business coming from? Right? Where do you get business from? Is it your sphere of influence? Is it referrals from, friends and family? Do you have just a whale of a client who just continues to feed you? Where does your business come from? What percentage of it? Are you out there spending, $10K a month on leads? If that's the case, where you got to be able to track these things. So that's what this is for. So fill that space in as well. Like, if you did, I got a couple on here that I don't have answers to just yet. I've got some little question marks by them. Going to go back and do that. So this can be a piece that you can take and do homework. I'm not going to come back and ask you if you did it, but finish it up. And I want to ask this question, and I want to see if you guys can share with me, because this is kind of personal, but how will I improve? What are you going to improve on this year in your business? I'll go first. I'll be the first one out the gate, and I'll just spit it out as time management, guys. I really need to improve on my time management. So that's going to be the area that I'm working on. But who else can share with us an area that they're looking to improve on in their business this year?
Participation, guys. Come on. Let's wrap this up. Who's got something?
What'd you write down? How are you going to improve on that business model that you have right now? Are you going to come into the office, once a week and take up desk time? Are you going to, block out time for calling, prospecting? What's it going to be? Somebody share with us. Give me a couple here, how we can kind of just brainstorm together. How we can.
Mine is going to be on following up on clients or potential clients. I've had Patrick a few times asking me, have I reached back out to so-and-so? And I'm like, no, I've only reached out to him maybe once or twice, but I haven't did the follow up to, for that third or fourth contact. So definitely on the follow up.
That is huge. What do they say in real estate and anything in sales? The fortune is in what?
Follow up.
The follow up. That's right. So great point that Aaron brought up right there. Follow up. Don't forget to call those people. They're going to forget to call you, but that's your job as the agent to make sure that you're reaching out and saying, hey, how you guys doing? Oh, yeah, that's right. There you go. So great one right there. Anyone else want to share, apart from Aaron, how you're going to improve on your business this year?
I'm going to chime in while we're waiting for somebody to say that they want to share their information. I wanted to remind you guys, if you're brand new to real estate, because we didn't really discuss that in the beginning, if you're brand new to the business, this form is still for you. It still applies. I want you to put that you have 0 transactions last year. But I think the biggest problem or the biggest challenge that we face as business owners, because we're all independent contractors, is the fact that we're not 100% honest with ourselves. When that question comes up about where did your business come from, if you're not tracking your results, like Maria Speed said, and some of you mentioned, I notice when I ask this question to agents, they're not honest with themselves. You'll find yourself saying, well, I want my business to come from referrals. So I'm going to say, well, it's all past clients. Is it really? When you actually take the time to track, is your business really truly coming from referrals? And if the answer is yes, good for you. If the answer is no, how can we get to that point? That's the system that we have to implement to become better at getting that and capturing that referral business. Because like David said, the phone's not going to dial, or they're not going to call you. You have to stay top of mind. So we're going to dive into that this week as well. But if you're brand new, please still finish this template. This questionnaire is very relevant, very important. And I also want to ask, did anybody answer what's their biggest weakness right now? That's a very relevant question. Since we're stepping out of our comfort zone.
Yes.
You could be honest. Mine's laziness.
Social media.
Social media. Okay. That's not bad, because if that's your biggest weakness, honestly, that's a system that can be implemented. That's not a problem. And is your time better spent to make to make $250,000 or 24 transactions, $10 million in volume, like Jennifer was saying, like David was breaking down, is your time better spent on social media or prospecting the old fashioned way, reaching out, calling people, texting people, emailing people that So we'll talk about that. Richard's putting time management. Mm-hmm. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the bullet points that everybody mentioned earlier. We're going to share that on an email, because that's huge. Everybody nailed it when they talked about dedication and time management, prospecting. Linda, did you say something?
Consistency for me.
Consistency. And again, this is not a time for us to judge each other. This is a time to be honest about certain things. This is the best platform that you guys have right now to be honest with yourself and talk about, what's my weakness? How did I get my business? I suck at consistency. I suck at time management. I suck at this. I'm not good at that. I'm not good at Facebook. There's certain things that we need to work on, but if we hold each other accountable, if we know that our weakness is this, that's what you need to focus on, right? That's what you need to focus on. For the longest time, my biggest challenge was you all have heard the saying, tackle the hardest things first.
Yes.
For the longest time, that was my biggest challenge. It was like, I don't want to start my day fighting this battle, but guess what? Now I have to do it. So I do it all the time. It's something that, I've gotten accustomed to. Organization. Jennifer said organization. David mentioned you have to know who your team is to be successful. I guarantee you, Jennifer didn't get to be our top salesperson this year by being completely unorganized. Whether she likes to think it or not, she has some organization, right? She knows what she's doing. She has a game plan, and I guarantee you she has a budget for marketing. right? So she knows how much she's spending every year to accomplish her goals. So those are all things that I hope you guys took from today. I mean, this is huge. Does anybody want to share? Rebecca, what's your biggest weakness?
My biggest weakness? I'm
Personality.
perfect.
You're perfect?
Yeah.
There it is.
I mean,
That's
I
her biggest
see myself
weakness,
as
right?
perfect.
That's it.
She
Right
thinks
there.
she's perfect.
She's perfect. Yes.
That's my weakness, is that I'm perfect. I mean, I can't be average like you guys.
Yeah, got to be above average, right? You're relentless.
Yeah.
You're hilarious. You're hilarious.
That's why you guys love me so much.
Yes.
Rock
Who
on.
wants to share one more thing that they are weakest at, or something that they, or anything? Shelly?
One of my weaknesses, I wish I was perfect like Becky, but one of my weaknesses is learning how to balance. And I think in real estate, it's easy to lose the balance between home life and work and letting it take over 24/7. And that's where having the routine and the schedule helps. But learning how to say no so that you're not over promising and under delivering. And saying no that it's in a positive way, because you want to be able to provide the best service. But if you overbook and you overpromise, many times you under deliver.
I'm going to take that advice that you just said, because
I thought you were perfect.
Because yeah, I think I say yes to my agents way too easy on the weekends at 7 o'clock at night, at 9 p.m. Yep.
It's a hard one. It's very hard for me. So that's something that I know that I need to work on. But many of us are people pleasers. So we want to constantly be pleasing. Many realtors are people pleasers. So you just have to be careful to not overpromise.
And that's a good point, because this week, since we're talking about listings, tomorrow we're going to talk about the psychology behind being a listing professional. Think about what she just said. A lot of us are people pleasers. So it's very easy for a new agent to get in a rut where they take any listing that they can just to do it, just because they want to get that number. But again, my focus this year is not on listings taken, it's on listings closed, right? Another thing is agents will come to me, say, I want more money. And I say, well, then stop giving it away. How many of you have taken listings where you say, well, I'm going to do this one for free, or for 1% or for 2% because they asked me to. Well, good for you, but you're basically giving away your money, your own money. So, you have to start focusing on what it takes to be a professional in this business, and think about that stuff. And when you have a set goal for yourself, and you know that you need to average $8,000 gross commission per deal, or $10,000 per deal, you're going to start protecting your own income better, and you're going to learn how to differentiate a time waster from an actual transaction, right? We need to stay away from time wasters. Real quick, realtor with goals. This is coming from you, not from me. Focused, setting schedules, time blocking, consistency, prospecting, organized, dedicated, and tracking results.
That's it.
That's huge. You guys came up with that.
Mm-hmm. Fantastic. We are right at the close of our session. We've got 10 minutes left, and it's perfect because we're going to let ladies go first. Anne-Marie, she's going to be sharing some success stories that she's had with writing goals. And so we're going to let her go first, and then Aaron's going to jump in after that. So the time is now yours, Anne-Marie. I know we sent you over everything. Hopefully everything came through great, and we're going to turn it over to Anne-Marie real quick.
Okay. Good morning or good afternoon, you guys. That was great. Good list of to-dos, and my mind doesn't go much further than that, because I kind of have this motto, we don't know what the future holds, but we know who holds the future, right? So I always trust in God, and I kind of go by my gut. That's been my mantra, and so it all starts with how I feel on the inside, right? I have to exercise, I have to eat healthy, and I have to kind of get my mind straight in order to be present. I kind of like to do things a little candidly, and I was just looking at my numbers from last year, and I don't know, some things for me are out of sight, out of mind, I have this number in my mind, I'm sure that's what it was about, but I'm writing it down is something that kind of brings things into perspective for me. I did pretty good last year. I mean, that was really my first full year in real estate. And I really didn't do that much real estate, you know. I closed 6 transactions. I have one huge listing, which, you know, could potentially become like, you know, he wants to do a 1031 exchange when he sells that, so I guess where my mind went with it all is by writing down these goals. And I have a meeting with Felipe on Thursday, and I'm putting this as 100% importance, like the top of my list, and I've never done that before. And that's like setting goals, writing them down, and actually like long-term wise, not just, you know, flying by the seat of my pants. I know you guys chose me to speak about writing goals, but I was like, I know Felipe knows where I'm coming from, so I'm just sharing honestly. You know, this is like something that I want to get great at, because if I want to go where my mind takes me, where I've been dreaming about being, you know, I know that I have to have a system in place. That's something that you guys have taught me from the beginning, and I'm a little resistant to change. But I try to remain teachable, you know, and so I don't ever like to pretend like I know everything, and I'm always the first to admit when I'm wrong. And but with that being said, I think I let self-doubt kind of creep in there a little bit, you know. And like I went for a listing presentation, you know, this was right before COVID hit, and I actually got the listing, but then they decided not to list. But I was sweating. I mean, I had everything prepared. I was like, you know, like they're gonna see straight through me, and you know, they loved me, and they wanted to list with me, you know. And so for me, I just tell myself all the time when my heart starts pounding, self-doubt is a liar. Like, don't listen to that. Like, we can accomplish, we all have like the best of something, and it's all different, you know. God didn't put us on this earth all the same. There may be a zillion agents out there, but there's only one of you. And that's what I tell myself every day. Like, I have something special to offer. And as long as I believe that, and I put my heart, you know, like in the right place all the time, you know, I'm able to help my clients. And for me, I'm looking at where my prospects came from, and, you know, answering the phone at C21 and personal referrals. And that's it for me. I've tried other things, but that's what's been most successful for me. So really what that boils down to me is showing up, suiting up and showing up. You say you're going to be somewhere, you show up like David, you know, you're dressed, you know, professionally, and you do what you say you're going to do. You follow through. And that just leaves a good taste in people's mouth, and they like doing business with people that are happy. So if you start with mine, you know, like the exercise, whatever that is for you, if it's meditation, if it's music, or whatever it may be, get that part straight and then show up. You know, and if you have a good attitude, that reflects to everything. And, you know, writing this stuff down I think this is going to turn this year into the year that I've been envisioning for my career for a long time. And I'm ready. I'm ready to rock and roll.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing. That's great.
Yes, for sure. The success is out there, guys. Anne-Marie said it was her first full year in real estate. She did 6 sides of transaction. I'll just throw it out there. Maybe you didn't know how many I did my first year. Anybody can guess how many I did my first year? Throw it out there. Somebody. Oh, Felipe put up on number 1. That's terrible, Felipe. It's true. That's all we did.
Is it true?
It's true. I did 1 side my first year. All right. So Anne-Marie, you're 6 times better than me. So I can't imagine what the sky's the limit for you. So very excited for where your business is going to go and how you're taking the initiative and writing down these goals. And so we're going to close out with Aaron. He's going to share with us his testimony, kind of what happened with him, his first year in real estate and writing goals, and how the success he's found as well. Take it away, Aaron.
All right, how's it going, everyone? All right, so my first year in real estate, I didn't start out with Century 21 Preferred. That was my first mistake in the business. But also knew that there were some things that I need to accomplish being a first-time real estate agent that my previous brokerage wasn't giving me. Sat down, spoke with Amber, and she pretty much went over what it was that I needed and what I was looking for from a brokerage. And then that's when she paired me with Patrick, and then Patrick and we sat down, discussed. I didn't write down anything, which I should have. I actually didn't write down any goals until we had I think it was our last training in the month of December, where we talked about goal setting. And that's when I actually started writing down my goals. But when I started out, I said that I wanted to at least close 4 transactions. I was able to close out 3 listings with the assistance of Patrick last year. I had another client, a buyer, that is closing on their home in March of this year. So that would give me my total of 4 that I was looking for. But without having any goals written down, anything to follow, I was failing myself because I wasn't actually implementing any systems, putting any systems into place to reach my goals. And I mentioned earlier with the military, actually, I write down goals all the time, and I sit down with someone, we talk about the goals and how to accomplish those goals. So it's just more so now for me, taking what I've learned from the military as far as setting goals, implementing standard operating procedures, which every business has, and as us being business owners, we should all have that for ourselves. So that way, moving forward, my 5-year goal is to have my own real estate team, put those systems into place so that way it could run itself. I could be hands off with that business and focus more into the real estate investment side. So now I'm writing down my goals, I'm following them. And my biggest thing for me right now is focusing on the social media aspect and also the farming aspect. So Felipe has helped me with learning some things with that as far as farming and actually identifying target home people that will want to sell their homes, right? So sitting down with those who have the experience, like Felipe and other experienced agents, sitting down with them and understanding how to actually set the business up the right way and actually become successful in real estate. So that's my goals moving forward. My goal for this year is just sitting down, talking to people and understanding how to become successful, and then hopefully hitting my target of 20 transactions for this year. So
No such thing as
A couple quick things real quick.
Patrick.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I've accomplished a lot of crazy things in my 40 years in business and whatever, but the two things that always kept me going and helped me out with goal setting is knowing that I was going to fall off track and to get back on track as fast as you possibly can. And the other thing I always wrote down, it's not how you start the day, it's not what goes wrong during the day, but it's how you finish the day.
And that's
that mindset kept me going, because you're going to have problems.
You're gonna have problems, is what he was saying. I think, I'm not sure if we lost you just for a second. You're gonna have technical problems too, right? So that's what just happened to him. So Patrick is absolutely correct. He is amazing at understanding that the day is gonna throw curveballs at you. The week, the 10-day plan, the 90-day plan, the year, and the 5 years. There's going to be challenges thrown your way, you guys. It's how we react and it's how we adapt to those changes that's going to make us successful. We had a great year last year. We're expecting to have an even better year this year because of everything that we've been talking about. But it's going to take all of us to focus on building our business. And I love what Aaron said. This is your business. This is your company that you're working on. Okay? Whatever your goals are, write them down. But now that you've written them down, really spend some time, go back to the worksheet and focus on the process, not the results. The process, not the results. What am I going to do to get 20 sides? What am I going to do to get, to my 5-year goal? The process. And I guarantee you will find the results that you're looking for. Okay. David?
That's it right there. We've got one little piece for you. You had 6 sheets in your handout. If you didn't see it, the last one right here is actually some homework for you. Believe it or not, we gave you a little bit of homework for this evening. So I'll throw it on the screen for you just to take a quick peek, because it is 1 minute to 1 and I'm going to get you guys out on time. But here it is. I want you to focus on the second half of this sheet. Don't worry about the top arrows here. It says, what is the number one thing to focus right now to achieve your goals? Write it in the box. Define those 3 objectives. And then here's your business. I want this quarterly here filled out at the bottom. And then look where you were last year, this year, and then 5 years from now. So that's going to be your homework. You have it. It's in the email. Print that out. You guys, I really appreciate you taking the time and sharing today. The input, the feedback was fabulous. I know we all gained from this. And I'm excited for what's coming tomorrow, the psychology of the listing. We got top producers who are going to be sharing with us tomorrow. So if you got anything from today, just wait. It only gets better as we move along with this workshop. With that, I'm all done here. It's 1 o'clock and you guys go out, crush it. You've written down your goals, start working on them now. And we're going to see you guys tomorrow at 11 a.m.
Great job.